Hello all, this is John from EastCoastArmory.com, and I'm here today with an update video for this 1/6 scale M4A3E2 76mm Sherman tank. As you can see, that the model from the last video has changed a lot in appearance. A lot of progress has been made, namely to the lower hull. Starting with the front hull detailing, we'll start with the front fenders. Front fenders are both fabricated out of sheet steel that are all soldered together. The rigidity bulge here is actually pressed into the steel as per the real vehicle. On the Jumbos, they're actually mounted a little bit differently than they would on a standard M4 Sherman tank. On a standard M4 Sherman tank, the strap here would actually lie on the transmission cover. But since the Jumbo's transmission cover was so much more armored, the fender had to be mounted slightly a little bit off of it and had to rest on the final drive here where it would be bolted. Because of this, you will see a sunken in appearance on the fenders below the transmission cover. Also on the transmission cover, you will see that the rivet strip has been updated. You will also see here, this is the comb wire cutting device that retracts. Moving our way down, we will see the towing eyes with the foot loops. All this here has been scratch built and added. And we will see that the whole transmission cover has improved cast texture. On the kit originally it was smoother than it is here. Moving up, we'll go to the front plate. As you can see, the front plate is a lot simpler than that of a standard M4 Sherman tank. Standard M4 Sherman tanks have headlights and headlight brush guards, as well as a horn with a special brush guard around that. On the Jumbo, it's very plain, very simple. The only thing you have are the lift hooks, the .30 caliber machine gun with the canvas tarpaulin mount, and the 75mm travel lock. This is all full function. All these parts that you see here are EastCoastArmory.com, with the exception of the bow M1919. This black rest in piece here is actually from Panzerworks, and it's a very nice piece. Moving our way to the sides of the vehicle, we'll start with the lower suspension. The suspension has been added, and it is the VVSS, Vertical Volume Spring Suspension System. Now, the bogies on this vehicle are actually full function. They flex, giving the model a realistic appearance when placed over uneven terrain. The wheels that you can see are also differ. Here you have the standard late pattern dish wheel, and over here we have a spoked version of the wheel that doesn't have the peepholes that the earlier wheels did. These wheels here, instead of the peepholes, had these slits milled into them, and that was to get access to the Zerk fitting with the grease gun. Both of these wheels are offered on ECA, as well as the entire suspension. A new offering to the product line is this stamped VVSS Sherman rear idler wheel. These come in a set where you get 2 wheels and 2 rest and hubcaps. The wheel spins freely on my model and is secured securely to the swing plate. The swing plate is also a new addition to the product line. Previously I would just have the idler mount, but this swing plate was added to the idler mount set. With the swing plate, the idler has a more realistic look to it and can be pivoted and adjusted into the proper alignment. Then you just glue it or silicone it when the time comes when you put the track on. The model sprocket and final drive are from Panzerworks, and are also very nice pieces. Sprockets I made spin freely, as well as the entire suspension. This model will be able to roll if pushed. Another addition that was made to the model is the welding. All of the welds that you see here on this vehicle are sculpted by hand, as well as the tool posts. Tool posts were also welded. Tool posts are all made out of sheet metal, and their welds have been added as well. The welds add not only as a detail element, but also help secure the parts to the tank. See here, that's a lot of the details were also added to the back. This is for the sledgehammer. This is for the large wrench. Taillights and taillight brush guards have also been added. Over here, we have the divots installed for the fuel caps, which will have their armor covers be able to be moved, thus showing the detail underneath. Over here is the main engine hatch. I will make the engine hatches functional, and to do that I have to build this shelf on the inside which they will rest on once in the closed position. In addition, the tank's lower hull was also detailed. Previously, there were a lot of big clunky fasteners and 2 molded in hatches that were in this spot right here. The hatches were removed, the entire lower hull was replated with sheet styrene, and the lower hull details are added. This would be the engine access hatch, or access panel over here, escape hatch, as well as these rigidity pieces. Some drain plugs were added as well. On the rear portion here, we will see tow eyes, exhaust, engine hatch, and tow hitch components. This here is what the idler mounts look like, as well as the engine hatch. This engine hatch is actually full functional. If I remove these 3 bolts here, it will swing outward. Over here is the retractable exhaust grill deflector. I will show more of that in a minute. On the opposite side of the tank, we have the Little Joe auxiliary generator exhaust conduit, and that runs all the way to the end of the vehicle. We also have here a plate that on the real tank was mounted right over the rear idler wheel, and most likely is a guard, and it protected the exhaust conduit from any debris and foreign material that would be drug up by the idler in the track. Here we can see the tank's exhaust deflector grill. The exhaust deflector grill is fabricated all out of sheet steel and is full functional. There's a little handle here, and if I push in and up, it retracts into the upper hull, thus giving me access to the engine hatch. The tank's tow hitch is also full function. I lift it up and it locks down. I could put some kind of a trailer or a towing implement over here, close it, and lock it shut. And that concludes this project update for this 1/6 scale M4A3E2 Sherman tank. Stay tuned for more progress. Thank you.